Okay, we have with us today, in conclusion of the interviews, our interviewers, and they are wonderful students, and they will talk about themselves and how they are involved with the Obama campaign and with Grow the Hope. So let's introduce yourselves.
I'm Becca Cohn. I go to Whitman High School. I'm a junior.
I'm Emma Rackstraw, and I also go to Whitman, and I'm also a junior.
And you all want to explain how you got involved with the campaign?
Yeah, that would be Becca.
My aunt, who's a delegate for District 16, told me to come to the opening of a Bethesda office, and I wanted to get involved with the Obama campaign from the beginning, and I knew Emma was a huge supporter, so I called her and dragged her along with me to the opening, and that's where we met all of the other interns, and we actually
who were not yet interns.
Yeah.
This is pre-Obama, Bethesda office. This was before there were 7 chairs, no tables, no computers. Yeah. This was the beginning.
And then we became the head of the interns at the office.
Co-chairs,
yes. And then throughout the campaign until November, we were there basically every day.
At least Becca was.
I was. But both of us were there every day, during the summer.
Yep.
And then we just got really into it, took over our lives.
Yeah, kind of.
And how do you see other young students getting involved at this point, and do you see a difference?
There's definitely, with the Obama campaign, it showed us how much energy young people have and just how much we can contribute. So a lot of people, after the campaign ended, were like, what are we going to do now?
Right. I think that, at least for me, someone's peeking through. The night of the election, after we got a chance actually to work in the Maryland Boiler Room. With
statewide headquarters.
Yeah, that was a huge deal. We got to run the data center and for a few days and be a huge part of the Maryland campaign, and that was a lot of fun. But the night of the election, after all the festivities were over and it was 2 in the morning, I think I had a moment where I kind of freaked out and thought that this is the end of the most important thing I'll ever do my whole life. But I'm just starting to realize, with this meeting with all these religious leaders from so many different faiths and peace activists, I'm just starting to realize that there's a much bigger thing coming. The campaign felt like a huge deal, and it felt like that was sort of everything, and it completely took over our lives, and when it ended, I felt like the biggest thing that's ever happened to me was over. But this is the beginning of something that's a lot bigger.
And when you're talking about that, you're talking about Grow the Hope?
Partially Grow the Hope, of course. Yeah, Grow the Hope is part of I think the next step, which is to expand the message of hope and of peace and change, not just in America, but it's got to be something that's worldwide. And Grow the Hope is just one way of linking one person to another and linking communities and faiths. And I think it's a lot bigger than just Grow the Hope, but this is definitely one way that we can get involved in.
And do you think young students and young people will continue to stay involved?
I hope so.
Yeah. A lot of people a lot of students feel we're just we're still in school, we can't really do anything, our voices won't be heard. But what they don't realize is that there's so much that they can do. And we just really need to try to keep people involved.
We need to harness the energy now before it fades away. And yeah, part of that is Grow the Hope and trying to get people involved in organizations like Grow the Hope that'll keep them involved in their communities and in politics, and we just have to keep that energy up, basically.
Bring the community together.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Anything you'd like to say in conclusion?
I think we're good.
Okay, great. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.